Welcome back my YouTube channel. In the early days of Germany's rearmament in the 1930s, one peculiar armored vehicle stood out among the rest, the Neubaufahrzeug. Translating to new construction vehicle, this tank was part of an experimental effort to create a modern heavy tank for the newly forming Panzerwaffe. With its multiple turrets and imposing silhouette, it looked like a futuristic behemoth for its time. But as history would later show, it was more a symbol of ambition than battlefield effectiveness. The Neubaufahrzeug was not designed for mass production or wide deployment. Instead, it was a testbed, a machine built to experiment with tank concepts and technology. Only 5 of these tanks were ever built between 1933 and 1936. The first 2 were made of mild steel, used purely for testing and evaluation. The remaining 3 had actual armor and were somewhat closer to what the German military hoped to see in the field, though still far from a refined combat vehicle. Each Neubaufahrzeug came equipped with a combination of weapons that reflected the multi-turreted tank trend of the interwar period. Its main turret housed a 75mm KWK-37L/24 gun and a coaxial 37mm KWK-36 gun. This dual-caliber setup was meant to provide flexibility against different targets, the 75mm for fortifications and infantry, the 37mm for enemy armor. To further bolster its firepower, the tank included 2 secondary turrets, each with an MG-13 machine gun, placed at the front left and rear right of the vehicle. Despite its intimidating appearance and seemingly powerful armament, the Neubaufahrzeug had significant flaws. Its armor maxed out at only 20mm, which was already considered thin by mid-1930s standards. At approximately 23 tons, the tank was underpowered and sluggish, with mechanical reliability issues that made it unsuitable for sustained combat operations. Its multi-turret design, though visually impressive, also proved to be impractical. Coordinating multiple weapons systems in combat made communication and crew efficiency difficult, especially with 6 crew members crammed into the vehicle. Although the Neubaufahrzeug was quickly overshadowed by more advanced and practical designs like the Panzer III and Panzer IV, it still played a minor role during the early years of World War II. In 1940, 3 of the armored models were deployed to Norway during the German invasion, known as Operation Weserübung. The tanks were part of a propaganda effort as much as they were a combat tool. German media at the time emphasized their presence to create an illusion of a powerful and diverse armored corps. However, on the ground, the tanks faced real challenges. Difficult terrain, mechanical failures, and better-suited enemy defenses exposed the design's weaknesses. Though they did see some limited action, their tactical impact was negligible. The tank's legacy lies less in its battlefield performance and more in its symbolic and technological significance.